Woo! What's up, guys? Fears. Audience. Audience. Fears. Coffee first. Nice. In my Spider-Man mug. Now we're talking. So I hope you guys are doing great. I hope you guys are doing awesome. I hope you guys are doing bloody fantastic. I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. There it is. There we are. All right. Well, today's been a pretty productive day. I got a bunch of stuff done. I went to the post office. I went to, I went to the post office. I did a little bit more editing. I'm not done yet on the next vlog. I'm almost done. I'd say give me probably one more day, and then and then we're good. Then we're good. So I did some more editing. I edited it for about an hour and a half. Work was good. We had about 38,000 last night, so not too much, not too little, just enough. Just enough. By the way, check out my brand new shirt. Jesus loves you. That's right. I love Jesus. And Jesus loves me, and Jesus loves all of you guys. That's right. Anyway, God bless. I hope everyone's doing great. I hope everyone's doing wonderful. My vacation starts very soon. Very soon. Soon as my family gets here on the 10th. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Now, there's going to be a lot of, going to dinners and hanging out and stuff, but I'll try to get as much footage as possible, my friends. Anyway, what else did I do today? I took a nap. I did a little editing. Let's see, what else? I went to the post office. I talked to my mom. My mom called me and thanked me so much for the gift I got her, and I said, no worries, you're my mom. And I told my mom that all of you guys were throwing her birthday wishes yesterday, and so I called her and said, hey, Mom, I said, the fans just wanted to let you know, happy birthday. And my mom was like, oh, well, tell them that was very nice and tell them thank you. And I said, I will. I said, the next time I talk to the fans, bada bing, bada boom, I will let you guys know. And then I watched a couple movies. So, yeah. Now, I was supposed to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre last night. I put it in, and I fell asleep like 10 minutes after the movie. So, last night I watched Snow White, and then today I watched Little Mermaid, Mary Poppins, and Disney's Hocus Pocus. Because I had already watched one Disney movie, I thought, I might as well make it like a Disney theme. So, yeah. So, 4 Disney movies, that's what I'm going to be reviewing today. And then the 4th of July is coming up. So, in honor of the 4th of July, guys, we're going to review those 4 movies. And then we're going to do the top 10 4th of July films, that are on the 4th of July. And then we're going to talk about some things you can do on the 4th of July down in Orlando. And then we're going to talk about the famous people that I've met. Because I did that last time, and you guys really seemed to like it. So I'm just going to pick up from where I left off. So that's the topics that we got going today. And then tomorrow, I'm probably going to do an in real life live stream. I need to get my car washed before my family comes. So yeah. All right, let's open up the chat. So I'm just going to pick up from where I left off. There we are. All right, the chat is open. The chat is live. I'm going to let everyone know that I'm live. And we'll get them here. We will get them here. By the way, Lanterns live is tomorrow, so that should be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun. I don't know what Lantern's got planned, but he'll have something planned. All right. There we are. Lantern. Oh, he could be asleep. Lantern! Yo! Lantern, I'm live. So let everybody know in the Discord that I'm live. Drop the link, and then I'll see you in the chat, all right?
All right.
Lantern, I told everybody you're going live tomorrow. What time are you going live tomorrow?
I'm going to go to my niece's house tomorrow to the fireworks tomorrow night.
Oh, wait, so are you still going live tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because it's almost the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Damn.
Pew.
Pew. Lantern, what'd you have for dinner?
I'm going to take my steak for supper.
Ooh, that's good.
4th of July.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Lantern. Anyway, buddy, drop that link, and I'll see you in the chat soon, all right?
Okay.
All right, I'll see you. Shunk.
Shunk.
There it is. Oh, there we go. All right, so, yo, let's see. Yo, I am live, everyone. So, come and hang out with the Fears Man. Well, if I could spell, there we go. Fears Man. I am live right now. Yeah, dude. All right. There we go. All right, I'm live. I am live. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, and then he said he was going to drop the link. There we go. And bam! There we are. Yeah, I'm very excited about the 4th of July. All right, well, hopefully I'll see somebody soon. Because the Lantern said people would be here. All right. There we go. I'm very excited about the 4th of July. I like the 4th of July. Let me know in the chat what you guys are doing for the 4th of July. There we go. We got 4 people. There we go. I don't even know what I'm going to do for the 4th of July. I haven't really decided. I know I'm going to probably have to work on the 4th of July. Oh, no, wait. I may have it off. I'll have to ask my boss tonight. I may have it off. Because we get all the big holidays off. I may have to ask my boss if we get the 4th of July off. Because we get, like, Christmas and Christmas Eve off, and we get, like, Thanksgiving and stuff. And then usually I call off for Halloween, because I'm like, there's no way I'm working on Halloween, my favorite holiday of the year. So I may get the 4th of July off. I'll have to ask my boss. But anyway, I hope everybody's well. I hope everyone's great. I hope everyone's awesome. I hope everybody's fantastic, my friends. So yeah. Big shout out to all the fans. And like I said, thank you so much for all those birthday wishes to my mom. She loved them. I talked to my mom today, and I was like, hey, Mom, guess what? And she was like, what? And I was like, I'm glad you liked your gift that I got you. But I said, I was talking to the fans, and I said, I did a big live last night. And she was like, yeah. And I said, throw some birthday wishes in the chat. And I said, and my mom was like, oh, yeah? And I said, yeah. And I said, I said, they were throwing birthday wishes to you. So my mom just wanted to tell you guys, thanks for the birthday wishes. Yo, Bukaki, what's up? He says, I'm going to go watch fireworks at the town event here. I hope it doesn't suck. Hopefully it'll be a nice celebration, Bukaki, because I remember when I was a kid, me, my mom, my dad, and my brother would go down to downtown St. Louis, and we would sit in the middle of the arch, and they would have a big firework display, a big firework display right there in front of the St. Louis Arch, and usually it was awesome. And we actually had two. We would go down into the city, do that, then the neighborhood would let off fireworks, and they would go fucking nuts, you know what I'm saying? Bukagi says, you're welcome, Fear's mom. Yeah, she did. She wanted me to tell you, all you guys, thanks so much for all the birthday wishes. So I was like, I'll let them know, Mom. I said, I'll definitely let them know. Anyway, like I said, on tonight's topics, we're going to talk about the 4th of July events that you usually do. Then we're going to do the top 10 4th of July films. Then we're going to talk about the famous people that I've met, because you guys liked it when I did that last time. And then we're going to review 4 movies. I was supposed to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre last night, Bukaki, but I got about 10 minutes into it, and then I fell asleep, and when I woke up, fucking credits, and then I had to go to work, so I watched one movie before I fell asleep. So I watched Snow White last night, and then I started the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, fell asleep, and then today I watched Mary Poppins, The Little Mermaid, and Disney's Hocus Pocus, because I watched this last night. And then, like I said, I was trying to get through the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Fears fell asleep. Excuse me, I need to blow my nose. Give me 1 second. I got a runny nose. I hope I'm not getting a cold. But, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. So that's what we got going on tonight. And then, yeah. Interesting movie combo. Well, I was going to watch, because Crumbles, because I just bought Snow White. I thought, all right, I'll watch that. And then I bought the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbook like 2 nights ago. And I was like, fuck this. I'm like, I'm not going to wait until Halloween to watch Texas Chainsaw, because it had all those bonus features. A shitload. And it's in a Steelbook. I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going to watch it. So I started watching it. So I watched all of Snow White, and then I got up, I took a shower, I had some dinner, and then I plopped on the couch, I put Texas Chainsaw, I'm watching, and then I fucking fell asleep, and I was like, damn it. Damn it. So yeah. Anyway. So I'm going to watch it tonight. So I'm going to pick one other thing. Let's see, what else should I watch tonight? I'm going to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tonight, and let's go to the wall, shall we, and pick something else out. So I got Texas Chainsaw over there, and then let's see, what else? What else? Let's see, what else? You know what? I just got all the Rush Hours, so I'm going to watch Rush Hour 1, and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think that's what I'm going to do. There we are. That'll be a nice little combo. All right. So, I thought we'd start things off right. Sega wrote me and said, hey, Fears, there's a new Resident Evil game out. You got to fucking watch the trailer. He sent it to me, and then Rezi sent it to me second time. So I was like, all right, I'll watch it. So I'm going to watch that real quick in honor of Sega. So let me just pull up my messages, and I'm going to watch it and see what all the hustle and bustle is all about. All right. All right, let's see. This is called, let's see, Resident Evil Requiem. Trailer revealed. All right. Let's do it. Well, first of all, the graphics look good. It doesn't even look like a video game. It looks like a movie, you know? Like, at first I thought this was a movie, so it's a video game trailer. So the graphics are looking gnarly. Good job, Sega Camp. So they're in an office. There's this guy walking down the hall, and then this lady was typing on a computer, and it says, "The dead are alive." So I'm like, wow, no shit. The graphics look pretty good. So they're like in this big office building, and there's this black guy walking up to this lady's cubicle. I guess he's gonna like tell her some bad news. I don't know what the hell is gonna go on, but that's what I'm getting so far.
Grace. Grace. Grace Ashcroft.
Yes?
My office.
Coming.
I'm telling you, man, the graphics look fantastic on this. It looks great. I'm serious. Oh, shit. Here comes the yawns. Oh, fucking hell. I'm saying, it doesn't even look like a video game.
If this is about the report you asked for yesterday, it'll be ready in 3. No, 2 days, tops.
Put a hold on that for now. We found another body.
Seriously, I hope I'm not getting sick right before my family comes. I've been sneezing all day. Damn.
One that exhibits the same pathology as the others we've been investigating. Now, I need a good technical analyst on this.
Okay.
Good old
I need
Resident
your
Evil.
eyes on the crime scene. The Redwood Hotel.
Oh, shit.
I know that's where your mother was murdered.
Damn.
Alyssa died 8
There's a lot of dead people in this hotel. This is nuts.
years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past. Grace.
Oh, shit. So my next question is this before number 8? Or is this after 8? Because I played Resident Evil 6 by myself when I was still in Missouri. Then I played Resident Evil 7 with Sam, Resident Evil 8 with Sam. And 7 was better than 8. So I don't know, is this like in between 7 and 8? Is this after 8? Is this Resident Evil 9? I don't really know. I should have asked Sega before he sent this trailer. But Sega, so far so good. I'm going to give it a big thumbs up so far. Let's continue on.
What is this? Hey!
Oh, shit. Damn.
Stay close.
I guess she's like in some abandoned hotel. So somebody, as she was talking to her boss, she goes back to her cubicle, and then she gets kidnapped by someone in a black trench coat, and then she wakes up in this like shitty abandoned hotel.
They're coming. I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
Damn.
Stay away
Some guy had blood coming out of his neck, and it was just oozing out. Oh, damn. Sega, this looks really good. I'm liking it. I just don't know if this is in between 7 and 8 or if it's Resident Evil 9. Nice. Oh wait, let's see what the description says. Resident Evil Requiem is the highly anticipated... Oh, 9th! There it is. 9th title in the mainline Resident Evil series. Prepare to escape death in this heart-stopping action-adventure survival horror video game. Available February 27th, 2026 for the PlayStation 5. Nice! Nice. I didn't know if it was like in between 7 or 8. Now I know it's 9. There we go. Nice. Nice. I like it. I like it. I'm being honest, though. I'm being honest. I liked it, but you know what they really need to make the next... You know how, like, they're, like, you know, in the olden days, you know, they made, you know, Mario Brothers into a movie. They made Mortal Kombat into a movie, Street Fighter into a movie. Then they started making some of the Resident Evils. But what they really need to do, because it's one of my favorite games, they need to make Resident Evil 4. Because it really wasn't zombies. It was like a cult injecting something into like people's arms and necks, and there was like this little worm living inside, and then it turned all the villagers and everybody like into kind of zombies, and then they would like speak in that weird like chant, like "Enos going on day," you know, like all that shit, you know, and then there's those guys running around with chainsaws and shit. So yeah. Yo, Visions, what's up? What's up? He says, "Hello, Jesus. I appreciate that, but there's only one Jesus, my friend. He was a lot smarter than me. He was a lot holier than me. I'm holy, but he's way holier than me, my friend. But no. Jesus loves you. I got this at Walmart. And you know, the real reason why I got this is I'm not really a shirt and tie guy. Like, whenever I go to church, I wear either a Hawaiian shirt or I wear a buttoned-up shirt with a collar. So when I go and visit my family in August, I've got a Missouri church family, and then I've got an Orlando church family. So I'm just going to wear this shirt to church. Then I don't have to wear a collar or a bullshit tie. I'm just not a tie guy, you know? I'll wear ties if I absolutely have to, but if I don't, then yeah. But anyway. So, what's up, dude? So, Visions, you missed Sega. I'll just tell you what you missed. So I was reviewing a video game trailer that Sega sent me, and it's the 9th Resident Evil in the series. He sent it to me, and he was going fucking nuts about it. Fierce, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this fucking live. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. Then like 40 minutes before I started this show, Rezi sent it to me, and I was like, all right. I'm like, I'll definitely watch it. So anyway. Let's see. Bukaki says, I worked with a guy named Jesus. He was a hard worker too. Hell yeah. Well, you know, Jesus, the Almighty, you know, the Creator, he was probably the hardest worker of all time. So there you are. But yeah. Anyway, so Sega, I liked that trailer. I did. But I still think they need to make Resident Evil 4 into a movie. And who needs to play the fucking merchant? I need to play the fucking merchant. So you have an eye for things, stranger. Stranger. Now that's a weapon. So you have an eye for things, stranger. Gun's just not about shooting. It's about reloading. You know what I'm talking about. Not enough cash, stranger. I would make a great fucking merchant. That's what they need to do. So Hollywood, get your head out of your ass. Make fucking Resident Evil 4 into a movie and hire Fears. I'll be the greatest fucking Australian merchant you've ever seen, man. He's one of the greatest video game characters, well, besides Mario. Mario and Luigi, they're pretty badass. But besides Mario and Luigi, and And Donkey Kong. We can't forget about Donkey Kong because he's fucking great. The merchant. The fucking merchant. So there it is. What up, Lantern? He says, well, howdy, Crumbles. Howdy, Visions. All right now, Visions. Well, howdy, Chris. Howdy, Bukaki. Yo, Fierce. Yo, Lantern, what's up? Shout out to the chat. Well, what's up, Lantern? Anyway, Sega, that's my analysis. I'm going to give that trailer, that video game trailer, I'm going to give it, I enjoyed it, Sega. I'm going to give it, it wasn't a perfect A+. I'm going to give it a B+, Sega. I'm going to give it a 8.8 out of 10. And Sega, the reason why I gave it a B+ is because it's this simple. There's no fucking merchant in that video game. The merchant needs to be in every single fucking Resident Evil game, in my opinion. He makes it 10 times cooler when the fucking merchant's. That's why I want to play the remake. That's why LC needs to get off his ass, get Resident Evil back from his oldest son, and we need to be fucking playing like crazy. So yeah, Vision says, well, howdy, Lantern. Well, thanks for that 1 million that super chat donation, Lantern. Thank you. I'll be honest, I haven't had a super chat in a while. I appreciate when you guys give me a super chat, and I haven't had any fan mail in quite a while. But if you want to send me fan mail, it's in the link below. So I'll be looking forward to getting some fan mail whenever you guys throw some my way. All right, let's start things off with a bang. Let's do a top 10 list, shall we? Let's see here. Nope, hang on. Yeah, we're only a couple days away until my family gets here July 10th. And I'm very excited. I cannot wait to see all my aunts and my uncles and my Aunt Donna and my Uncle Steve. I'm going to show them a hell of a good time. Oh, yeah. All right. So, top 10 July 4th films. Well, the first one that comes to my mind is that horror movie Uncle Sam Wants You Dead. Bukaki, if you've never seen that film, you gotta watch it. It's fucking hilarious. Visions, if you've never seen Uncle Sam Wants You Dead, you need to get it. I have it on DVD. I need to get it on Blu-ray, though. So, yeah. It's funny. He, throws some guy on a barbecue pit, lights him on fire, throws this rope around some guy's neck, and, basically hangs him up a flagpole. And then he kills somebody. Some, guy's, burning a flag. And he grabs the burnt flag and wraps it around the guy's neck and, ties it. And chokes the shit out of the guy. So it's all 4th of July themed, kill. I think he kills somebody with fireworks and some bullshit. If you guys have not seen that fucking movie, because you and Bukaki like horror movies, you guys got to fucking watch that fucking movie. It's hilarious. It's fucking great. I've seen it. Doesn't a kid's uncle come back from the dead and he's a vet? Yes. So when he comes back, he's in all of his military outfit, and then because his name is Sam, there's some guy walking on stilts as Uncle Sam, and the guy's a pervert, and he's checking out his girlfriend on the stilts, and she's bathing herself on the second floor. Well, he kills the girl's boyfriend. He takes off his army uniform, and then he puts on the Uncle Sam costume and just starts killing everybody on the 4th of July. So you guys have got to see that. So yeah, it's a good one. I need to get it on Blu-ray. I got it on DVD in the back room, in my bedroom, but I need to get it on Blu-ray. So Uncle Sam. Wants You Dead. Number 2, I'm going to go with Independence Day. Where all the aliens, where he's can there be a peace? And the guy that plays Data out of Star Trek's in, and he's peace. no peace, you know, and then Will Smith's like, oh, you did not shoot that green shit at me, you know. That's a good one. That's a good one. So, Independence Day. And then I'm going to go with Independence Day Part 2. Let's see here. What else? I'm going to go with The Sandlot, because technically there's 2 scenes in The Sandlot around the 4th of July. So I would say that counts. Let's see here. Let's see. Lantern says, like it up, show some support. Well, thanks, Lantern. I appreciate that. Lantern, I'm going to try to have a vlog out. So, tomorrow, if you do a show, I probably won't come in right away, but I'll be there probably later on that night, you know, and hang out with the guys and you. Because I really want to get a new vlog out, you know, tomorrow. Let's see. Those are like the 4 that I have in my mind. I need to look up on Google and see what else 4th of July movies there are, because those 4 came up. Sandlot, Uncle Sam Wants You Dead, Independence Day 2. But I'm having a brain fart here. 4th of July 4th films. Let me see here. Let's see here. Oh, The Patriot, duh. The Patriot. That popped right up, yeah. I love The Patriot with Mel Gibson. Let's see. What else? National Treasure with fucking Nick Cage, man. Hell yeah. The first one's good. The first one's good, but the second one, it's kind of crap. Oh, Jaws! I forgot about Jaws. Because remember, he's like, for Christ's sake, like the stupid mayor guy is like, oh, for Christ's sakes, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and those beaches will be open. So I forgot about that one. How could I have forgotten about Jaws? Oh my God. Fears, shame on you, Fears. Shame on you. So Jaws. Jaws is probably the greatest one on the fucking list, you know what I'm saying? Well, Jaws and Uncle Sam Wants You Dead. That movie's pretty fucking hilarious. Let's see here. Glory. Glory's a good film. Glory. Let's see, I need 2 more. Let's see. What else? What else? Let's see. Top Gun. Top Gun's fucking great. And then, what else? Oh, come on. What's another good one? Oh, The Purge. The which one? Which one is it in the Purge series? It's the 3rd or the 4th Purge. Purge films. I just thought of that one. Purge films. What is it called? Purge Election Year. That's right. I forgot about that one. Purge Election Year. I just thought of that one. Well, that would be my top 10 4th of July films, my friends. But I would say Jaws. I would say Jaws is the best one on that fucking list. Jaws. I love the battlefield scene in The Patriot where the soldier's head comes off from the cannonball. Oh yeah, I mean that's fucking legendary. That's fucking legendary, Bukaki. And the guy looks over, and then bam, his fucking head goes fucking flying off, like way off that way. And I was like, oh shit. So yeah. Vision says, I saw that movie. Doesn't a kid's uncle come back from the dead? Yeah, he's a vet. And at first Visions, he doesn't die. At the beginning of the film, he's very much alive. Then he dies because he's in combat. And then, even though he's a vet, vets can still go into combat, like if they make their a lifelong career, you know. My dad thought about doing that, and then he thought, nah, I don't know if I want to be a soldier like my entire life. But what was cool about my dad is because he served 10 years, I don't remember who told him, but they said, well, you've done enough time. If you ever retire from the military and you want to go back to school, they said, you've done enough service for your country. We'll pay for your entire college. And my dad was like, really? My dad didn't have to pay for shit in college. And so he went for free, and he got his degree in computer science. So I was like, hell yeah. I'm like, so Dad, you killed 2 birds with 1 stone. He was like, yeah. He goes, I love my country. I wanted to serve. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. And he goes, and I got to do the degree that I wanted absolutely free. And I was like, that's smart. That's smart. I love my country, but it's just not for me. I wouldn't want to be a soldier. But, I mean, I would do it if I had to, because I'm a patriot. But if I don't have to, that's more my dad's thing, you know. But I respected him. I respected my dad for doing that. And I give it up for the vets. Anytime I'm out and about and it's like Memorial Day or Veterans Day and they're always asking for money or the Wounded Warrior like project or whatever, I always donate some money. I would have donated money in the last live stream, but I didn't. I usually don't carry cash in my wallet, so I thought I had some though, because I need to pull out some cash here soon, whenever my family comes. So yeah, I only carry cash with me is if I'm going to the Disney parks, so it's a lot easier just to give them the cash instead of pulling out my credit card, or when I go on vacation. So when I go on vacation to Missouri in August, I'll have my credit cards with me. And I'll pull out some cash. So, yeah. So, yep. So, yeah. But that is a good scene, Bukaki. Bukaki, though. So, Visions has already seen it. You're going to love it. Uncle Sam wants you dead. It's fucking hilarious. Like, there's this drunk guy. I don't want to tell you all that. I'm just going to tell you this scene. They're, like, in a graveyard, and there's a flagpole in the graveyard. And he's like, yeah, booze, all right. And he's, like, partying with these guys, and he's drinking the booze. They're like, yeah, let's light this fucker on fire. And they light the American flag on fire. And then you just see the white glove from Uncle Sam throw this rope around his neck. And then he just hoists this guy up the flagpole. And then he goes like that and like rips the rope that way. And then the guy's all like just swinging back and forth. And I was like, yeah, well, that's what you get for burning a flag, motherfucker. So, I like all of his creative kills in, like, 4th of July-ish type of shit. Throws some idiot, like, on a barbecue pit, and I was like, this is fucking hilarious. So, yeah. Watch that movie, buddy. It's fucking great. He's all like, yeah, burning flags. Yeah, right on. And I'm like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You're going to die in about 2 seconds. Lantern, you were going nuts in the chat. He says, damn fart, pew, funky, funk, smelly welly. Really, Lantern? Smelly welly. Oh, Lord. Oh, Visions. Sega did the really Fears, really thing to me. He goes, Fears, you know, they've got a new Resident Evil out. Because I only play video games with my friends, right? I said, that's cool, Sega. I said, I didn't know they were, I didn't know they were making a new Resident Evil game. And then he called me on a video chat, and he goes, he just stares me down. He's like, really? Really, Fears? And I'm like, yeah, really. I'm like, Sega. I'm like, you know I'm not a big video gamer like you are. And he's like, yeah, but Fears, you love Resident Evil. I said, I do like Resident Evil. I said, I just didn't know they were coming out with a new game. Now I know. And he's like, yeah, but really, Fears? And he did the little look that he always does. really, Fears? And I'm like, yeah, really, Sega? I didn't fucking know. But he's like, will you watch it for me? I said, yeah. I said, I'll watch it. I said, because now I'm interested, Sega, because I do like Resident Evil. And I said, if LC gets it, or if me and LC go halvesies, we'll play it. And he's like, you better, Fears. And I was like, I definitely will let you know, Sega. I thought it was funny, though. Bukagi says, Fears, I'll definitely check it out. Nice, check it out. It's funny, Bukagi. It's fucking hilarious. Add that one to your movie app. Which, by the way, before I go to work, now that I've watched 4 or 5 films, I need to... sometimes I get lazy and I don't log my movies in on my app right away. But I need to, because I want to keep an accurate count. So, yeah. Speaking of, they're making a new Street Fighter movie for 2026. Oh, nice. Nice. I remember watching the original with Van Damme in it, Visions. And even though I love Street Fighter, the video game, that movie, the movie Street Fighter, is so crap. It's like one of those movies where it's so bad it's good, and then the guy that played Bison is the same guy that played Gomez Addams in the live-action Addams Family movies, and he died shortly after making Street Fighter. And the reason why he made Street Fighter is that one of his sons loved the video game, and he said, well, before I die, he goes, I want to make a movie that my son can always watch and always love me in. And then he said when he came home, he told his son, hey, I'm going to play the main villain. I'm playing the main villain, Bison, in Street Fighter. And his son was like, oh, wow, that's fucking cool. So, yeah. So, even though the old Street Fighter is bad, I do like Van Damme movies. He's fucking hilarious. And so even though it's really bad, I have it on a steelbook. So, and I've got a movie prop over there of like Bison money. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that one. Let me grab it real quick. I'll show it to you guys. Oh, yeah. Bison money. Oh, yeah. Check this bad boy out. Bison. Bison. $100 of Bison money. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. I keep it in here so it doesn't get messed up, but, pretty cool prop. This prop came with the steelbook, so I was like, oh, sweet, I got a new steelbook, and I got a new prop, and so it was like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I was like, fuck yeah. So there it is. Well, Visions, thanks for telling me that, because you know, you guys already know, the last one was crap, but I bet you this new Street Fighter is going to look way better. So I'll definitely go check it out. Bukaki says that movie looks like it's on Tubi. Check it out. I guess Tubi's another streaming platform. I can't keep up with all these. Amazon Prime, YouTube Prime, Tubi, Hulu, all that other streaming bullshit. I can't keep up with all that crap. So, yeah. Well, yeah, of course it's fake money, Lantern, but it's a movie prop. A replica. I wish it was the real thing, but it's a replica. All right, let's move on, shall we? Ooh, all right. Time to do some movie reviews, shall we? Well, because I fell asleep, I was supposed to watch Texas Chainsaw, so I watched Snow White because I wanted to see how good or how terrible, how it lives up to the old one. So I watched this first, and then I was about 10 or 20 minutes into Texas Chainsaw, and then I fell asleep. So I'm going to watch Texas Chainsaw tonight, and I'm also going to watch Rush Hour 1. So let's start with Snow White, shall we? Can't fool Lantern. I know. Lantern's a smart cookie. He's a damn smart cookie. Snow White. It was crap. The old one is better. No, I'll be honest. There's aspects of this movie that I like. Aspects. I didn't like it as a whole film, but I like aspects of it. But definitely the old cartoon, the old 1937 one, is a million times better. So, the old film gets a 10 out of 10. This film, I liked aspects of it. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. But there's aspects of it that I like, and I'll go into it. So, let's see. New one, 5 out of 10. Old one, 10 out of 10. Because I don't judge something until I see it. I thought, oh, well, maybe it'll be good. I'm like, you know, like they're updating. I can appreciate somebody trying to update a classic. But here's the thing about doing that. When the first film is perfect, there's no need to update it. Like Tremors. The first Tremors is fucking perfect. It's perfect. You got Burt Gummer in there. You got fucking Kevin Bacon. You got that Burt Ward guy. And they make a good combo. And he's like, my favorite scene is when they're on the rock. And then he's like, well, why don't we just make a run for it? Hell, we outran him yesterday. And he's like, run for it. He goes, run is what you do when you don't have a plan. He's like, Valentine, you're not even trying to think of a plan. And he's like, well, it's not like we got a hell of a lot of options. Oh, there's options. We just need to think of them. All right, well, why don't you get thinking? Well, why in the hell do I have to do all the thinking? Who died and made you Einstein? That's the greatest scene out of Tremors. Or, well, one of the greatest scenes out of Tremors. So that's what I'm trying to say. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know? Because anytime you update a classic, it's very hard. So people are going to have already expectations. You know? Because you sit there, you watch the original, and you're like, wow, damn. The original Snow White. Walt Disney did a really good job. Awesome. Rad. You know? But then they start, in this one, because it's live action, they start adding shit. They added a whole bunch of new shit that was not even the original story. And I'm like, that's from the original. That's new. That's new. That's an original scene. That's an original scene. I don't know where the fuck they're going with this new scene over here, but that fucking new scene is crap. So, if they would have did it shot for shot, then yeah. But see, people don't want to do it for shot because then you're like, well, why in the hell do I have to watch this? I can just watch the old one. So they have to not only update it, but they have to put their own little pizzazz onto it, is basically what I'm trying to say. So I already knew all that going in, so I always, as a movie maker, a YouTuber, as a guy that has turned YouTube kind of into a second career, you know, I've got my normal career, and then I got this, and I review movies every day. I'm like, well, I'm not going to judge a book, I'm not going to judge a person, I'm not going to judge a movie until I see it, you know, or meet someone or whatever, you know. Then you can judge. Same thing with people. I met Quentin. He's a fucking dick. I'm like, yeah, he's a fucking asshole. Never talk to him ever again, you know? You know? Same thing with this movie. I'm like, well, I don't know if it's crap. I watched it, and I'm like, it's pretty shitty. But there's some things I like about it, and I'll get into it. So, I'm going to put, love all the old scenes. All the old scenes. Like some. I like some of the new scenes. I didn't like Gal Gadot as the evil queen. She's too nice. And she's played, I think that's the first time she's played an evil person. She usually plays like the hero. And then everyone sees her as like Wonder Woman. She did a great job as Wonder Woman. I just don't see her as an evil queen. I've never even heard of this girl. What's her name? Halle something. Apparently she's a singer, so she's not really an actress. She's a singer. But I guess they needed a singer because this is a musical, and there's a lot more singing in this than in the original film. There's singing in the original, but there's only a couple of songs in the old movie. I think there's like a total of like maybe 4 songs in the original. And this, there's like at least 6 or 7. So I'm like, a little bit too much singing in it. So yeah. So sometimes, like remember what we talked about yesterday? Sometimes less is more. So too much singing. But I get it. It is a musical. What's up, Alex? Good to see you. It is a musical, but even Singing in the Rain. I love that old movie, Singing in the Rain. Even Singing in the Rain doesn't have 7 or 8 songs. I think Singing in the Rain has maybe 3, maybe 4 songs. That's all you need. That's the perfect amount of singing in a musical. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. So yeah. So I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Just hang out with Spider-Man until I get back. Bam! He's all swinging with his web. Shooting his fucking web and shit. Alright, I'll be right back. Oh, man. Oh, shit. Here comes the yawns. Oh, damn. That movie prop fell on the ground. It probably fell on the ground after I turned on the fan. There we go. All right. Let's see. Where was I? Let's see. Alex says hello. What's up, Alex? Good to see you. Don't go anywhere, dudes. Fears will be right back after these commercial messages. That's right, Lantern. That's right. That's right. Good to see everybody in the chat. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are doing great. All right. Let's see. Where was I? So, best song. Best song in the film. It's a classic. Hi-ho. 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 It's off to work we go. Classic song. Classic. So, Hi-ho is the best song. That's my favorite scene, is when they introduce the dwarves and they start singing and you see them working in the mind, because it's classic. And I like how, that part I actually do like how they kept the original song, but they updated on what they do in the mind. So that was pretty good. That was one part I did like. So the hi-ho scene. Did someone say ho? Ha 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 ha! Just joking. Just joking. And then I gotta go classic again. Then my second favorite scene was probably when the evil witch goes, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? But see, Fears, you gotta put the old Fears, like, twist on it. You know, YouTube in the screen. Who's the fairest YouTuber of them all? Why, John Fears is the greatest of all. Hell yeah. That's kind of a given. That's a given. That's a given. So, yeah. So, mirror, mirror on the wall. That's another one of my favorite scenes. Now, that is almost shot for shot. The mirror, mirror scene. So, yeah. So, yeah. What's up, Liz? She says July the 4th, but it's July the 2nd. Well, yeah, but but I always talk about the holiday before it comes up, Liz. When the 4th of July comes up, you know Fears will do a 4th of July stream, absolutely. So, let's see. So, I gave it a 5 out of 10. It could have been better, but the original one is a million times better. A million times better. So, I'm 50-50. You guys can watch this if you want. Because there's aspects of it that I like. The ending is really good. Or I thought the ending was good. They add more background to Snow White's mom and dad, because in the original one, the narrator just says, oh, the queen, dies, and then the king marries the evil queen, and so you never really know what happens to her parents. Well, now you know what happens to her parents. So, it's a little give and take. So some of it's good, some of it's bad, some of it was some of it was all right, but what I'm trying to say is it wasn't all bad. I thought the whole thing was going to be fucking god awful, fucking terrible. Some parts of it was good. I always try to find something good out of each film I watch. So I'm just going to write down, watch it if you want to. So watch it if you want. Alright. This one's great. This is a great Halloween film, and I always watch it around Halloween, but I hadn't seen it in a while. So I just watched it tonight. So whenever Halloween rolls around, I'm going to watch Hocus Pocus again. Hell yeah. I'm going to give it a, let's see. That's right, Liz. She says, this is just a warm-up, y'all. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. See, now you're getting it. I'm going to give Hocus Pocus, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's good. They filmed it in 1993, so filmed in 93. Oh, well, I think they filmed it in 93, but I think it came out in 94. I think so. Yeah. Beth Midler did a great job as Winifred. She's my favorite witch, so Winifred is my favorite. The best scene in it is when Max confuses the witch after he brings them back by accident. And he's like, you've messed with the great and powerful Max, and now you must die. I summon the burning rain of death. And then the witches are all like, burning rain of death? Burning rain of death? He lights the fucking lighter on the sprinkler system. All the water comes down. And they're like, oh shit, oh god, oh, the burning rain of death. And then he's all like, yeah! And then he fucking runs away. That's my favorite scene. Burning rain of death. Second favorite scene, probably when they're in the graveyard and Max talks to Binks, the cat, and he's like, they can't get us here, right? And he's like, well, they can't. And then she summons Billy, and then they start flying through the air, and she throws the salt in the air, and then, you know, Sarah, like, quickly gets out of there because witches are afraid of salt and holy land and graveyards and shit. And that whole battle sequence in the graveyard is fucking great. So, graveyard battle sequence. Great Halloween film. I do recommend it. It is good. Especially around Halloween time. I mean, it's good. It's good anytime, but definitely around Halloween time for sure. Let's see. Elizabeth says, I used to love Hocus Pocus until I had a coworker that was obsessed with it, and now I'd rather stab my eyeballs out than never watch it again. Damn! That was intense, Liz, and that was very precise, that answer. I love it, but I don't love it that much. You know, I'm not obsessed with it. Now, I'll be honest. You guys probably get sick and tired of me talking about Ghostbusters. That movie I am obsessed with. But Hocus Pocus, I mean, I love it, but I don't love it enough to, like, have someone say, Fears, I'm going to take these scissors and stab my fucking eyeballs out, you know? Damn. So Liz, she must have talked about it every day at work or some bullshit. That's crazy. Oh, man. I'd rather stab my eyeballs out than ever. Damn. Damn. Oh, Lord. Let's see. Anyway, I do recommend it, except for Liz, because Liz, you're my buddy, you're my pal. I don't want you stabbing your eyeballs out. Damn. Lots of action. Lots of action. And it is funny. It is a funny film. Another funny part is when that dead, rotting corpse Billy is, like, chasing Max, and he pulls that fucking tree limb back, and he lets the tree limb go, and it smacks Billy right in the fucking face, and his head falls off and goes bobbling down the street. And I'm like, well, there goes your head. Bye. See ya later. Let's see. Elizabeth says she quoted the movie all day, every day. It was intense. Damn. That's nuts. Every time Fears talks about Ghostbusters, I want to give Lantern a wedgie. That's amazing. Well, Lantern, looks like you're getting a wedgie on tomorrow's stream. Ah! Well, that's hilarious. Yeah, see, I like Ghostbusters, but anytime, the only time I quote Ghostbusters, Liz, is when, like, a new movie, like a new Ghostbuster movie comes out, and then I buy and watch the new sequel to Ghostbusters, and then I sometimes quote the new movie and sometimes quote the original, but usually I don't quote it. But yeah, quote it every day. I would tell your coworker, buy me a gun so I can blow my fucking head off, you know? But anyway, Hocus Pocus, it is funny. So, there's a lot of laughs in it. So, lots of laughs. Lots of laughs. I do recommend it. Just, Liz, don't watch this movie. Or, at least, don't watch it for a very long time. There we are. Okay, Lantern, I won't stab out my eyeballs because you asked me not to. Well, I also said, yeah, don't let your crazy, Liz, do you still work with her? Do you still work with that girl? Just because some crazy girl works with you, don't stab out your eyeballs, because that would hurt. That would hurt a lot, actually, you know? Be like, I can't take it anymore. I can't take it. If you quote another fucking, if you quote another fucking quote, I'm going to take this fucking pen and stab my eyeballs out. And then she's like, wiggle my toes. And then you're like, fuck you, bitch. Ah, goon. And just stab out your fucking eyeball. That'd be nuts. All of a sudden you come in the next day with a fucking eye patch on. And then the boss is all like, well, what the fuck happened to you? Ask her. Ask her. I told that fucking bitch if she quoted one more, I'd stab out my fucking eyeballs, and she did, and now I gotta come to work every single day with a fucking eye patch on due to that fucking bitch. That would be nuts. That would be nuts, Liz. That would be crazy. Oh, man. Thank baby Jesus, I no longer work with them. Damn. See, Liz, so then you can watch the film again, because if you haven't watched it in a long time, and as long as you're not near that girl, then it should be fine. It should be fine. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to put these away for the moment. Now, last time, let me pull up my Facebook. Last time, I've met a lot of celebrities in my life. So I'm going to pick up for where I left off, because I've got a lot of stories whenever I've met these people. And I've already told you guys some of the celebrities I've met, so I think I remember where I left off. So I'm going to pull up. I have an album of all of the famous people that I've took pictures with, so I'm going to tell some stories, and then I'm going to call it a night. And I'll do the rest. I'll save the rest of the topics for the 4th of July, because I'm getting tired. And we've gone for about an hour already, and I haven't had dinner, and dinner's calling my name, and I want to get through the Texas Chainsaw Massacre tonight, because I really wanted to watch it. Visions, I really wanted to watch it last night. I got about 20 minutes in, and then I was fucking conked out. And when I woke up, I was at the part where she runs and just, just dives through the window to escape. And I was like, oh shit, I'm at one of the great moments, but I want to start from the beginning and watch it from the beginning, to the end. So yeah. So hopefully I get through it tonight. Because it's not a boring film, just that couch is so damn comfy, and whenever Fears watches a movie, I sink my head, into the couch. I got my little Ghostbuster blanket, and I lean back and I'm watching away, and then I fucking conk out sometimes. But I've had some of the greatest naps of my life on that couch. So, hell yeah. I love my naps. Hell yeah. I would say I'm the nap master. Sega used to be the nap master of the community, but I would say I've took that title. Well, Visions, whenever I get a chance, I'm going to send you an email. And I wish there was a button on your website. I'll probably have those stickers made after I come back from hanging out with my family in August. But I think Bukaki's idea is great. Like, Fearsman26 will just have my face, and then maybe at the bottom on my chin just say, follow Fears on Fearsman26 on YouTube, like in small, like maybe black letters, I don't know, something. And then I've got an idea for the Fears vlog stickers, and I like your price, so I'll probably just get like, I think you said 55 for 100 stickers, so I'll get 100 stickers of Fears vlogs and 100 stickers of Fears Man, and that'll last me for a while. And then whenever I need some more, I'll think of a new design and, buy some more whenever I need some more. But yeah. So yeah. Let's see. Super funny that you fell asleep during Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but woke up. No. I watched Snow White first. So I watched Snow White first, buddy. Then I watched Texas Chainsaw, 20 minutes of it, and then I woke up when she dives out the window. But by that time, I had to go to work and stuff. And then I watched Hocus Pocus. I watched Hocus Pocus today, and then I watched Mary Poppins and The Little Mermaid because I had watched this, and I was like, well, I watched one Disney film. I might as well watch some more, you know? I get into a Disney... sometimes I get into a Disney kick. So, yeah. But I'm watching it tonight. So, no, that's not true. Movie MasterCard revoked. No! Hell no. Look at all these horror movies down here. Horror movie. All these. No! You can't take the horror movies away from fears. No! That is a horror movie. I'm in a horror movie in itself if my fucking horror movie MasterCard is fucking revoked. I'd be like, you son of a bitch! That's that scene out of Jaws where he's like, blow up, you know? And then in the second one, he holds up that electrical cord and he's like, yeah, come on, kill me now, do it, you son of a bitch, kill me! You know, he's like literally telling Jaws, you know, or Jaws' brother, you know, because it's a new shark it's all new sharks in every single one of them. But he's like in that little tiny boat and he's got the fucking electrical wire and he's like, come on! He's like, it's time for dinner! Kill me now! Come on, you son of a bitch! And then he bites the fucking electrical cord and he gets burned the shit out of it, you know? Which is also how he dies in Jaws the Ride. So, did you guys ever ride Jaws the Ride? I did a bunch of times. And they never should have took Jaws the Ride out of Universal Studios. That fucking ride was amazing. Me and my dad would ride it over and over and over and over again. I think one day in the park we rode it like 5 or 6 times in a row. And I was like, my dad's like, you want to go on it again? I was like, hell yeah, I want to go on it again. My brother got scared of it sometimes, and I was like, I'm not scared. I'm like, let's go. But I didn't watch Jaws until I was 17 or 18 because I wasn't allowed to watch horror movies until I was 16. So I actually rode Jaws the Ride before I actually saw Jaws the movie. So, but it all worked out. See, now Visions is laughing. Oh yeah, you're not taking my horror movie MasterCard away from me. We're buddies, but don't you be fucking with my MasterCard. Ah! That's right, y'all. Well, at least I woke up in a great scene. She's got blood pouring down her face, and she's like, fuck this family, and she runs and just kind of like barrel rolls out the fucking window, and if that had actually happened, her face would be cut to shit. If you barrel roll right out of a fucking window, you would have glass all in your arm, glass in your face, but because it's a movie, they use that candy glass, which is hilarious, you know. Because glass, it's sharp, especially if you dive through it. And then that one, the guy that gets hit with the semi-truck, he's taking a razor blade and like slashing her as she's like running down the road. And then here comes Leatherface like barreling, like chainsawing through the fucking door, you know. But the greatest scene though, Visions, is when the black guy gets out of the truck and he's like, oh shit, and you see the black guy running like half a mile down the fucking road. He runs, then she flags down the Jeep, and she almost gets cut by the chainsaw jumping into the back of the Jeep, and she's like, go, drive your fucking ass off. The guy drives, and then Leatherface is chasing her right behind the pickup truck, and he's all like whizzing the chainsaw. That's the best scene, in my opinion. Because like, here's the truck, and he's like that far behind her. So here's the truck, and he's just waving the chainsaw. That, to me, that's the greatest scene. That is the greatest scene. And she's screaming. She's like, ah! Like, she's got blood. Her hair isn't even blonde anymore. She's got fucking blood, so much blood in it. And she's like, ah! Like, screaming her fucking ass off. So I can't wait to watch it again, because it's been a while since I've seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, yeah. So, I hope I don't fall asleep because I want to review that tomorrow. So yeah. Now Lantern said, I called him before, and Lantern said he may not do a show tomorrow because he's hanging out with his family, lighting off fireworks. So I hope he does a show tomorrow. If not, if Lantern doesn't do a show tomorrow, I'll do an extra long show tomorrow. So yeah. All right. Let me pull up my celebrity photos. I think I remember where I left off. Let's see. I was about halfway down the page. Let's see. The last time we did this, because every time I look at these photos, I remember all the stories that come with it. You know. Let's see. I told you guys I met Bam. I met Wesley Crusher. I met Steve-O. I met Will Wheaton. I met that girl out of what's her face? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or whatever the hell her name is. I met Preston Lacey. I met Lou Ferrigno. And then I told you guys the story about Tony Todd. I met Kane Hodder, where he choked the fucking shit out of me. I met Sean Patrick Flannery, the guy out of Boondock Saints. And then I met Brad Loree. He played Michael Myers in Part 8. And then I met Jay Underwood. He played the shitty boyfriend in Uncle Buck, where he's like, what's his name? And he's like, his name is Bug. And he's like, first or last? And he's like, first. What's his last name? Spray? That guy was cool. And I remember asking, I said, what did you like playing more? I said, out of these three, I said, did you like playing the asshole boyfriend out of Uncle Buck? I said, your 3 episodes of Star Trek Voyager, because he did 3 episodes. I said, Jay, how old were you when you played that android? Those 3 Disney movies, like back in the 80s and 90s, where you played an android. And he said, do you want my honest opinion? I said, yeah. I said, I love those 3 movies. I said, I love when you played the android. I love when you played on Star Trek Voyager, because I'm a big fucking fan. And I said, I thought you played a great asshole in Uncle Buck. And he goes, probably Uncle Buck the most. He goes, because I got the most screen time. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he goes, if I had to pick second, he goes, Voyager. He goes, it was all right. He goes, but me playing the android for all those Disney films. He goes, I'm so young in that. He goes, I'm like 16, 17. He goes, it wasn't my first gig, but it was one of my first few gigs. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So he said, yeah, that one kind of holds a special place in my heart. And I was like, that's cool, man. I'm like, that's really cool. All right, let's continue on. Let's see, what else? Let's see. And then I met, let's see. Let me scroll down the page. I already told you guys the story about Ron Jeremy. I met him, and then I went to a celebrity dinner with him, and he was just talking about weed, dick, fart, and pussy jokes the whole night. I couldn't even enjoy my dinner because I was laughing so hard. And then he said, oh yeah, I fucked like 3,000 chicks. And I was like, good for you, man. Fears just wants one chick, you know, let alone 3,000, you know. I met the guy that played Chewie. Now that was cool. I got to talk with him for a couple minutes, and he said the suit was hot, you know, inside that Chewie fur, but he said, what an honor to be in all 3 of the original Star Wars. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome. Let's see. I met Henry Winkler at what convention was it? Wizard World. And there's actual video footage of me going up talking to him. So I believe that footage is on Fears Man 26 if you guys want to see it. And I walked up and I shook his hand, and I don't remember exactly what I said in the video, but I told him my favorite scene I said I love the Fonz and, you know, and all that, but I said my favorite movie that you've ever done was in The Waterboy, when you put your finger in Bobby Boucher's face and says, I'm not telling you to go on a shooting rampage. I was laughing my ass off when he said that. I was fucking losing my goddamn mind when he said that. And he said, oh, he goes, that's your favorite scene? I said, it's one of my favorite scenes out of The Waterboy. I said, I love Adam Sandler film. I said, Adam Sandler's hilarious. And I said, you were hilarious in that movie. Let's see. Bukagi says, fucked 3,000 and still had to go Cosby mode at the end. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Bukaki. I met him before all that crazy bullshit happened. And I was like, dude, leave me the fuck alone, man. But that night he was pretty funny. Because he was just saying all these crazy jokes and all sorts of crazy shit, you know. And not only did he tell me that he fucked 3,000 chicks, but he went into detail. He's like, yeah, he goes, one night I was doing this 3-way with this girl, he goes, and then I told the girl to move over so I could get my dick, you know, in there more comfortably. And I'm looking at him like, you know, I'm trying to eat, you know, and then he's like, anyway, I'm rambling. And I just went, I mean, what else could I say? There's video footage of me at the dinner table. It's on Fears Man. And you can kind of hear him in the background telling some jokes. I don't remember what jokes, but he told me that story off camera. And I was just like, Jesus, this fucking guy. Anyway. But yeah. But Henry Winkler's cool. I met a bunch of people off of The Walking Dead. I met the guy that played Leatherface. Bill Johnson out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Because it was a different guy that played Leatherface in Part 3. I met the guy, Visions, you'll like this, at my friend Dave's old convention. He doesn't own it anymore. He sold his contamination convention in Missouri, and he used all the money to buy himself a comic book store. I met John Dugan, the original guy that played Grandpa in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he showed me a bunch of like behind the scenes, and he said my friend was getting all these extras to be in, you know, Texas Chainsaw, and they were like, hey John, you did some theater work, and he was like, yeah, he goes, you want to play Grandpa? And he was like, oh yeah, and they put all this old man makeup on him. John Dugan was so cool. His interview, I interviewed him. And thank God I had watched Texas Chainsaw before I interviewed him. That's on Fears Man 26. You guys are going to have to go back into the archives, but it's on there. And that was a really cool interview because he was like telling me all the behind the scenes. And I said, how long of a makeup process? He goes, well, I was playing an old guy, so he said it took a couple of hours. And I was like, that's fucking cool. So that was an honor to meet that guy. I didn't get to meet the guy that played the first Leatherface, because I think he had passed away before, you know, I would have liked to have met the original, you know, Leatherface guy, but John Dugan was cool. And he added me on Instagram, and he added me on Facebook, and I believe he's still alive. He's still on my Facebook, so that was cool. I was like, oh shit, Grandpa is my friend on Instagram and Facebook. So I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. So yeah. Let's see. Who's next? And then I met a whole bunch of other people off The Walking Dead. And then I met Alex Vincent that played in Child's Play 1 and 2. He was cool. There's pictures. I'm looking at a picture right now of me and my buddy. My buddy's got a Jason Voorhees shirt on. And then I've got my Subscribe to Fears Man 26 shirt on. And I'm having a beer with Alex Vincent. And I said, this is what I wrote. I uploaded this photo August 7th, 2013. I said, me and my buddy Blake with Alec Vincent just hanging out at the bar on the second night of the convention. We spent lots of times at the bar with me and Blake, but he's a really cool fucking dude. Pleasure and honored to hang out with him. So we had a beer. So he bought me a beer. I bought him a beer. I bought my friend Blake a beer. And we were just hanging out at the bar just talking fucking Chucky and shit. And I was like, were you ever scared? And he was like, no. He goes, because I saw all the wires. And he goes, I was a little kid, and they explained, nothing can hurt you. This is all fake. And so I said, you didn't get scared not once? He goes, no. He goes, my mom and dad were on the set. So yeah, so I got to hang out with Alex. Alex is a cool fucking dude. He was buying me and my friend Blake some beer. I bought him a couple beers. And this convention was not ages away from where I used to live with my parents, but it was about 2 or 3 hours. So I stayed at the hotel. So I got to stay at the hotel. I got a hotel room for 3 nights because that convention lasted 3 days, I think. 3 or 4 days. And that was one of my buddy Dave's contamination ones. I think that was contamination. Oh, well, I uploaded it in 2013, so that was contamination 2013. So I stayed at that hotel for 2 or 3 days, and then I got his autograph. I got some footage of him. So he's in one of my vlogs, and then I got a full interview with Alex Benson. That's on Fears Man 26. You'd have to go back and, I don't know where. It's on there, though. He gave me a really cool interview. He was the coolest fucking guy ever. I think he added me on Instagram, and I was like, fuck yeah. I'm like, that's awesome. So hell yeah. My buddy Dave loved horror, so he invited a lot of like, he never invited Robert Englund, but like, he always would invite all the other horror movie people. And I was like, why not Robert? Because I've met Leatherface, a few of them. I've met, Alex Benson. I've met 2 Michael Myers. I've never met Robert Englund, fucking Freddy, and I've always wanted to meet that fucking guy. Fingers crossed. Hopefully one day I get to meet the Master of the Blades. The Master. Hell yeah. Vision says, nice. Hell yeah, buddy. Oh, man, it was great. Alex was buying us beer. We were going fucking nuts. And I was like, this guy's fucking awesome, man. We were just talking Chucky. And I was like, hey, what's your favorite scene? He goes, oh, I love part 2 when we're all in the factory. And I was like, that's some of the greatest scenes. Is you and Kylie, or whatever the hell her name is, fighting Chucky off in the good guy doll factory, and there's like millions of Chucky dolls. He's like, oh yeah. He goes, they rented out a factory. He goes, and they made tons of boxes. And I was like, he goes, it was a big production. And I was like, yeah, it looks like a big production. So yeah. Bukaki said, I had a friend who made a living getting celebrity autographs and selling them on eBay because he has to stalk celebrities to do it. He has met so many famous people. See, nothing against your friend, Bukaki. I like to just hang out with them at the conventions and just, pay for an autograph, get a little footage and be on my way. I would never want to stalk someone, but nothing against your friend. Nothing against your friend. I would never stalk them, but yeah. But hey, there it is. I could never stalk anyone because I wouldn't want to be stalked. But no, I get it. Nothing against your friend, though. Nothing against your friend. But yeah, that hangout with Alex was cool. I haven't seen this photo in forever. And the photo's kind of blurry because they had so many lights on in the hotel. I mean, you can see our face in the photo, but it's kind of blurry in the background because they had all these massive fucking bright lights on. And when I just gave someone my phone, and they took the photo. So, but yeah, it was a cool hangout. He didn't even feel like a celebrity. He felt like one of the guys. He was like, "Hey, Fears, you want a beer?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'll take a beer." I'm like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate that." He's like, "Oh," he's like, "No worries." He's like, "I love hanging out with fans at the conventions." And I was like, dude, that's really generous of you. I said, that's really nice. I appreciate that. I said, thanks very much. I said, and so then in my mind, I thought, well, he just bought me a beer. So I said, the next round, I'll buy Blake and I'll buy Alex a beer. And then Blake started buying everybody beer, my old friend Blake. And I was like, hell yeah. Let's see. Bukaki says, it's okay. Haven't talked to him in over a decade. Well, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to insult anyone's friend, So yeah. Well, I think I'm going to stop right there, and we'll do some more celebrity stories another day, because I'm getting hungry, and I need to shower, and I'm going to shower, get something to eat, do a little bit more editing, and I hope to have the next vlog out by tomorrow. The next vlog is going to be the LC Hangout, the most recent LC Hangout. Because I want to get all the new shit out first before I go back into the archive and keep working on all the old shit. So yeah. But that was a cool stream. We went for an hour and 30 minutes. So yeah. Vision says, well, Fears, I guess you can have your card back. Hell yeah. Yes. Yes. Hell yeah. The Alex Vincent story saved me. Yes. Fuck yeah. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Visions, you're a good friend. And you're a very understanding friend. Thank God. Thank God. I can only imagine Vision's face. What the hell, Fierce? Watching Snow White and you can't even get through fucking Chainsaw? What the hell, man? I apologize. Scout's honor, I apologize. But you should know this by now. Usually, 11 times out of 12, Fierce will fall asleep through a movie. Ironically, I've never fallen asleep at the movie theaters. Probably because those chairs are not comfortable. I mean, they're a tiny bit comfortable, but not as comfortable as my fucking couch. So, Visions, if you ever come to visit me down in Florida, bring Mrs. Visions. You'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll take one seat on my fucking couch and be like, damn, Fears was right. This fucking couch is amazing. This couch, I've had so many naps on. Right there. See, I got my Ghostbuster blanket right there. Seriously, this is exactly how I do it. Watch, I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what I do. So I just go like this. I put on the movie. I put my feet up like this. I cross my feet like this. I throw the blanket on. Just like this. Like that. And then I tilt this back. Just like this. And then I cross my hands like this. And then I just kind of sink my head in like this. And then I push play. And I'll be watching. And then all of a sudden the hands go to the side. And then I just fucking fall asleep. Just like that. I'm telling you, it is the most comfiest. It is the most comfiest couch of all time, my friends. I better get off this couch right now because all of a sudden I'll be telling you guys how I nap, and then all of a sudden I'll fucking fall asleep and shit. So yeah. Anyway. It's definitely a good chair. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely a good one. It's definitely a good one. Anyway, I think I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna sign off. So yeah. Exactly, Bukaki. He says, LOL. So basically, Fierce, you tuck yourself into bed before the movie. Surprise you fall asleep. Well, I like to watch movies in comfort, and it's like going to bed though. And sometimes I'll get through the whole film, and then other times I wake up and the fucking credits are rolling up, and I'm like, son of a bitch. But on the good note, I get a lot of naps in. So hell yeah. So I had a nap. I had a nap before this stream, so I should be good for work tonight. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna get something to eat for dinner, and then I'm gonna edit a little bit more, and then I'm gonna throw on Texas Chainsaw and see if Sally can escape the fucking Sawyer family. Oh shit! Now Sally escapes, but I feel bad for Franklin or whatever the hell her brother's name is. Man, that scene where Leatherface comes flying out of the trees, he fucking chainsaws him from like here to here. I'm like, holy shit, you know? So hell yeah. Lantern says, does your couch have a bed in it? Well, it folds out into a bed, Lantern, because there's a button on the side. So you can sit like this, or you can tilt back, Lantern. So it turns into a bed. So yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you giving my card back, Visions. Thanks so much, buddy. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite horror movie stories. I got to have a beer with Alex Vincent. I was like, fuck yeah. And he was so cool. Yeah, hey, Fierce, you want a beer? I'm like, I'll take a beer. And then he's like, what about your friend, Blake? I was like, Blake? And he was like, oh yeah. And then I remember Blake kind of tapped me on the shoulder and said, Fierce, if you buy him the next round, I'll buy the third round. And I was like, I can do that. So he was buying us beers, we were buying him beers, And we just hung out. We just hung out at the hotel bar till like, I don't know, 12, 1 in the morning, just like bullshitting, like telling convention stories. He asked me and Blake how many conventions, and at that time, I'd only been to a couple conventions, and I said it's 2013. I said I went to my first convention in my college years, and I said the first convention was Phoenix, Arizona Comic-Con in 2010, and by 2013 I was already back home in Missouri, and college was done. So I told him, well, this is my first convention back in Missouri, back home. And he's like, oh, yeah. He goes, I go out to Phoenix sometimes and do conventions there. He goes, what? And then I remember him saying, what the hell are you doing out there? I said, I just did 4 years of college out there. And he's like, oh, sweet. He goes, that's cool. He goes, did you like it? I said, oh, yeah. I said, I loved it. So, hell yeah. Anyway, I'm taking off, my friends. But I hope everybody has a good night. Hell yeah. I tell you what, the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months, Fears has been living on sunshine, man. Everything's going great. Everything's going good. I'm going to hang out with the family in a couple of days when the aunt and uncle and all the cousins come here. Then once they leave, I'm going to go to... Well, there's one show that I'm going to while the family's here. Then after they leave, I'm going to go to another show. And then after that show, then I'm going to go visit my mom, my brother, my dad, everybody in Missouri. So I'm going to get shitloads of vlog footage while my cousins and my aunt and uncle are here. And then I'm going to get shitloads of footage when I go into August. So lots more vlogs are coming, my friends. Hell yeah. But yeah, things have been going good. Things have been going great. Now if Fears could only find a lady and a better job, the two old worries. But I'm working on it. I've been applying for new jobs like crazy because I'm gonna do what my dad said. He goes, "Don't get rid of your old job until you find a new job." So the minute I find a new job, I'm gonna be like, "Peace, deuces, I'm fucking out of here." But thanks for the experience, and I'll put in my 2 weeks, and then so the new adventure starts, and then I'll find another Mrs. Fears whenever I can find her. So cheers to the fans. And I can't wait to get some more fan mail. So send in your fan mail. Check out the link in the description. Send Fears some fan mail. I don't care what you send me. Send me a fan letter. Send me something to unbox. Send me some Ghostbuster shit. Send me some new coffee to try out. I don't care. Send me something and I'll unbox it for you. All right. Fears loves you guys. Fears cares about you guys. And I hope everybody has a good 4th of July. And when 4th of July comes around, I'm going to do a big 4th of July live stream. Hopefully I can take my laptop out to the street and watch my neighbors set off some fireworks. I'm going to try to do that. Hopefully, because almost every year, at least one of my neighbors sets off fireworks. And then I need to find out if I get the 4th of July off. I don't know if they're going to let me have that off. So tonight at work, I'm going to be like, hey, do we get that off? Because we get a lot of the major holidays off. We get Memorial Day off. We get Veterans Day off. We get Thanksgiving off. Christmas Day. But my boss was cool. Last year he gave me Christmas Eve off, Christmas Day, and the 26th off. So I didn't have to come back to work until the 27th. And then I took Halloween off, which I'm going to do again this year. Because I'm not working on my birthday and I'm not working on Halloween. Fuck that. I always have my birthday off. And I always have Halloween off. Those are 2 days that I don't care about making any money. I'm like, I'm going to go to fucking Disney on my birthday. I'm going to fucking go ballistic with the fans on my birthday. I'm going to go ballistic with the fans on fucking Halloween. And watch as many horror movies as I possibly can on Halloween. So, I got to find out if I get the 4th of July off. Anyway, I'm taking off. But Fears loves you guys. Fears cares about you guys. I will see you tomorrow. Lantern, let me know if you're doing a show tomorrow. If not, I'm going to do an extra long stream because Lantern said he may be hanging out with his family, which I totally respect. All right, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Mr. Lantern on YouTube. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my friend Bo Seamus. Lantern, you give him some fucking hair. Give him some fucking hair. I swear, Don't forget to follow The Carrie Show. I'll be nice. I haven't gave her a plug in quite a while. Follow The Carrie Show on YouTube. Follow Joey with the Numbers on YouTube. And last, but certainly not least, follow the host with the most, Fears, Lord Fears, FearsMan26 on YouTube is channel number 1, and channel number 2 is Fears Vlogs. All right, this is Fears, signing off. Peace. Deuces, and you all have a wonderful night. Peace!